Today in the cloud gaming space, it's all Stadia news. We're going to be talking about 2 new games coming to the platform, a title that has been delayed, and 1440p support that's currently rolling out. We're going to be breaking down all the latest, so let's get to it. We're going to begin by talking about 1440p support, which is now rolling out to Stadia users. It's as simple as going to your Stadia settings and then selecting 1440p as the target resolution. Now, to be perfectly clear here, Stadia supported 1440p for quite some time, and plugins like Stadia Enhanced have really highlighted the feature. That said, if you're expecting this new option to really improve your overall experience playing on Stadia on a 1440p monitor, just be aware that you might not see much of a difference, if at all. You see, Stadia's always supported up to 4K resolution, so if you've been playing on a 1440p monitor and selected up to 4K, Stadia would have been streaming to you at 1440p. This was actually announced way back in 2020, and it remains true to this day. All we're seeing here is just updated clarity on what you're actually playing at. That said, I don't think it's absolutely pointless. It's a nice quality of life feature for new users who may not just be tech savvy or might not understand what up to 4K stood for. Next up, we have an update on From Space, a title that was scheduled to launch September 29th but now has been delayed. This information is coming directly from the developers themselves, in which they've left this following message. Hello specialists, it seems the incoming alien invasion is looking to be quite the battle. We need more time to round up our troops to be ready to meet them head on. To ensure we have the best launch possible, we're moving the From Space release date on all platforms. You can expect a new release date announcement next week. We know this news may be disappointing to some, but we feel this will give us our best opportunity to launch our game. We hope you understand. We can't wait for you all to get your hands on From Space later this year. Thank you for your continued support. This means the world to us, the From Space team. The title was originally set to launch September 29th, and while they did tell us that we will be getting a release date announcement next week, they do expect it to be later this year. I have no doubt that this will be disappointing to those who have been waiting for this game for quite some time, but I'm also a huge believer in the fact that a delayed game is much better than a game that gets rushed out the door. Especially in the here and now when it comes to the Stadia community, as a big spotlight is currently being put on games that are missing content, features, DLC, or just have bugs. And I have little to no doubt that the developers want the same thing, for everyone to enjoy the game at its best. Now let's wrap things up by talking about what's next up on Stadia, all directly coming from the Stadia team itself. The first title is expected to release in fall, and it's none other than Arcade Paradise. In this game, you're going to be managing profits, picking up gum, and doing the laundry to get coin to unlock some arcade units and flip the family laundromat business to become the Arcade Paradise. It's a management style game where you go from rags to riches if your definition of riches is just owning the coolest arcade ever made, and experiencing a pretty charming game in the entire process. The title's currently sitting at very positive reviews over on Steam, and I've heard a lot of good things of the overall experience if you're looking for this fun style of game that doesn't take itself too seriously. There's also a ton of mini games available via the arcade machines themselves, which yes, you can actually play. Honestly, a pretty cool indie game to bring over to Stadia from Wired Productions. Now the second title coming to Stadia is a very interesting one for a variety of reasons, but I'll get to that in just a second. It's none other than Martha is Dead, and it's expected to release winter this year. It's described as a dark first-person psychological thriller set in 1944 Italy that blurs the lines between reality, superstition, and the tragedy of war. The game itself got a lot of attention when it first launched back in February, and it's currently sitting at a mostly positive review score after over 1,000 reviews over on Steam. Now, the reason I stated that it was very interesting to see this title come over to Stadia is mainly because there's one scene in particular that got a lot of attention online, and that's because Sony removed the entire scene and censored the dialogue itself. Obviously, it goes without warning that this game is rated M for mature, and it is a horror game, so do expect some grotesque scenes involved. What I'm really curious about is whether or not Stadia decides to censor that same portion, or if they're just going to leave it as the original is on other platforms. Regardless, this was a title that I remember some people asking for when it was initially launched, and I hope those people pick it up on Stadia now that it's arrived. All in all, 2 good games coming to the platform. I know it's not the big AAA budget titles that some people are wanting, but once again, those games are coming and they're on the way. FIFA 23 and Skull and Bones are just right around the corner, and having these titles fill in the gaps between larger releases is always a good thing. Regardless, it's great to see that Wired Productions continues to support Stadia with most of their titles. And with that, we've wrapped up the cloud gaming news of the day. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button, as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Now, I do want to add a quick end of video message here, as I will be testing out a new way to deliver news, or should I say old way. As you can tell, this video is very Stadia centric, and most of the cloud news videos will be platform specific this week. I kinda want to see how it impacts the overall YouTube algorithm, as you know, that's the name of the game. and in doing so, you may see more than one video a day in certain cases. Because of this, you may also see a fluctuating upload time. I'll probably just push news videos as they come out, and we'll see how it goes. I'll be doing a community poll over on the community board of the channel at some point this week, so keep an eye out for that, and be sure to give me your feedback on what you think. If you want to help me out with further feedback, be sure to join our community Discord. That's the best place to reach me at. As always, thank you for watching the video, thank you for your support. This has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.